Hey guys, what's up? It's Monday, December 6th, 2021. It's a minute after 9 in the morning. And if you hear anything in the background, it's my gardener. He and his wife, first time he's brought his wife with him, are doing our lawn right now and all that, kind of cutting things up and everything. You know, basically making everything look nice and stuff. And it looks like they kind of switched out. She was doing the mowing, and now he's doing it because he was blowing the leaves and everything. So kind of a team effort. But anyway, I wanted to come on here and just give you an update, if you will, as to what's been going on. Now, about a week ago, I went in about this time, well, actually about a half hour earlier, about that time, to, and this is a week ago on Monday, the last Monday in November, that is. And I went in for an interview with Dollar Tree. And long story short, I was initially hired right on the spot. It was a 3-minute interview. She told me she was going to send me some forms that once they got sent to her, she was going to send my way, which she did. She sent some forms, my way and everything. She just checking something there. But like I said, she sent some forms my way that she said she was going to send once they got sent to her, which she did. And these are just, and they were just the state and federal forms, stuff like that, when you get hired on, essentially, for a job, seasonal or not. So, she sent them to me. What was funny is she actually contacted me when I was on the bus. You see, what it was is I got there in plenty of time for the interview, and then I had to wait a little bit. I mean, my thought process was this, that if the interview didn't go long, which I had a feeling it wouldn't, if it wouldn't go long, that basically I'd be able to, get in and get out and basically get on the same bus that it just dropped me off. That didn't work. So instead, I had to wait for about a little over an hour and a half, if you will, I'd say about 70 minutes before I got back on the bus. And while I was doing that, I went over to my old job, finally, and said hi to them, and they were glad to see me. And in fact, some of them are actually trying to encourage me to get back on, because obviously they miss having me there. And then I did the same thing on Wednesday, because what it was is the store manager, she told me once I get these forms finished to contact her, and then she would set something up. And so I did that, and she basically had me come back on Wednesday and bring a copy, if you will, of my Social Security number, my Social Security card, that is, and my ID, so they could have it on record. Now, what's interesting is she also had me bring in, or also show at the same time, the ones that I just copied, the actual Social Security card and the actual ID. She told me to bring those in, if you will, so she could see them, so she can match them up, if you catch my drift. So I did that too. And I know some of you are thinking that's kind of weird. But like I said, she had me do it because she wanted to make sure things matched up and were on the up and up. So anyway, she says, after that, she calls me back up on Friday and asks if I can come in for my training on Saturday at 8 a.m., which I did. Essentially, Saturday was my first day at work. So that's what I did. And when I got there on Saturday, she set everything up for me. She gave me my name tag, which is right here, with my ID number on the back. She gave me my name tag. And then she started to then she had me go to the back where we have a computer. We only have one computer. That's the big difference between Dollar Tree and Walmart. depending on the size of the facility that Dollar Tree is located in, you only get like one, maybe a few computers less than, let's say, a Target or a Walmart. Anyway, long story short, I go over there, watching the videos, right? I'm watching the video training that I'm supposed to. Because the one that she wants me to get to the most is the sexual harassment one, which, any store that hires you, any retail store of any kind that hires you is going to have, because sexual harassment is not allowed in the workplace, which is correct. It is not allowed, period. No matter what job, period. Anyway, long story short, if you will, I'm doing the video training, and everything seems to be going well, right? Everything seems to be going smooth, right? Guess what happens? Guess what happens? Guess what? Guess what happens? If you guess the internet went down, you'd be correct, because that's exactly what happened. It seemed to happen between, I would say, a little after my first break, and all that, and a little after it seemed to happen a little more after my lunch. Like, I went to lunch around 12, and then that's when it started to conk out. So it was like, okay, so it really wasn't after my lunch, but it was like a little after my first break and before my lunch. So what happened basically is the internet started to act a little wonky. Like, it was starting to conk out and everything. So it started to do that, like I said, after I got back from break and after I had my initial lunch and before I had my lunch, right? So anyway, I get back from lunch. Everything seems to be okay. The issues seem to be worked out, but then that's when it decides to conk out again. And it's not just, the video training and the e-lessons, or CBLs as other people call them, that get affected by this, which you don't think they should, since they're like maybe pre-installed into the thing, which is kind of weird. They're pre-installed into the thing. It's kind of weird that they would screw up like that. But anyway, they did. Because I guess they gotta have the internet to connect to them, so they can be like, okay, we have, that, because basically the home base, wherever it's located, has the information needed and all that to send to the Dollar Tree facilities to, help, get the new hirees up and going. So anyway, like I said, the internet went down. And it didn't just affect, like I said, the e-lessons or the videos that you have to do and watch for training, but it also affected the card readers. Yeah, your debit card EBT readers. It affected those too. So basically what happened is they had to get people to pay by cash. And what they had me do is they had me basically help put these strips into the display things that they put on the shelves when they're changing things up. Because what they were doing last night, or yesterday and last night mostly, was a changeover, because they're going from $1 to $1.25 on most items. So what happened is they had to kind of make up for the time that I should have been training on the computer for, video, e-lessons, all that. They had me basically take these little display things and put, the $1.25, help put the $1.25 strips, into them. Put the $1.25 strips into them, so that basically, everything would be all, so basically they'll have them all set and ready to go for the next day when they do the changeover after the store closes, because they shut the store down early yesterday because they had to do that. Then after I did that, the store manager also had me go out to kill time and essentially take the dollar tags, eggs, if you will, the little sticky dollar tags, if you will. She had me go out and try to remove them as best as I could so that they could put on the new $1.25 deal. And that was harder than it looked. I'll put it that way. So yeah, it was an interesting situation, and probably out of all the places I've been hired at throughout my life, I've never had a first day like this. Honestly, in a long time, if ever. Because every place I've gone to, they've usually been ready and more prepared. Or if there was an issue, they would always make sure that it was taken care of. I've never had an issue like this ever. You know, even when I was at Wally World, as people call it, I never had that issue. But yet, here it was. Here was that issue. Now, again, I don't know what caused the internet to go down, because it seemed if it was going down in that area with Dollar Tree and everything, you'd think, oh, it's going to go down, you know, in all the other places around the surrounding areas, right? Nope. Because I went over to Walmart later on after work to get a few things, and everything was fine there. And everything seemed to be getting back on the up and up as soon as I was about to leave. And my thought was, okay, looks like things are getting on the up and up. She's going to probably have me, stay a little longer to finish the training, right? Nope. As soon as it looked like things were on the up and up, that's when they went down again. So I don't know if maybe it's the internet provider, which is Xfinity, or it was the weather, or whoever. Because what it said was it was the DNS server. It was the DNS server. So I don't know if it was, I don't know if it was on, the main headquarters side of things, because there's a server. So I don't know if it was on their side or what was going on, but something screwy happened to the point that I have to go back most likely tomorrow to finish the training so I can get going and everything. Because she wants me to get on the training, do these video trainings and everything before the 11th, because that's when they take them down, mostly because of the Christmas season, and also the fact that it's the end of the year, from what I can assume. So anyway, that's what happened. And like I said, out of all the first days I've had at any job, this is the first one that I can think of ever where something like this occurred. So after that, like I said, I went to Walmart, got a few items, if you will, got a few items basically. Then from there, got picked up by my brother-in-law, taken to my older sister's, and ironically, my nephew, who now works at Walmart, was just going to lunch. And had I known he was heading back there, I would have rode with him, but I was still shopping, so there's that. He probably already had taken off and everything by the time I was done shopping. So anyway, long story short, like I said, I went to Walmart, got a few items, got picked up by my brother-in-law, went to my older sister, because my older sister, as you guys saw in the video, was in the Patterson Christmas Parade. And obviously this was a lot bigger than usual because, and I'm sure the same goes for a lot of Christmas parades, around California, and if not the country. Some that don't end tragically, and my thoughts and prayers are with the families affected by what happened there at that parade. But anyway, it seemed to be a lot bigger than usual. And mainly I think it's because a lot of people were happy to finally be out and about, more so than they were last year, due to COVID. Due to COVID. Anyway, like I said, he picked me up. I went to my older sister's. Like I said, because she was in the parade. And me, and then my mom showed up later. And my nephew, before she showed up, went back to work. So basically, we were just waiting on my mom. My mom got there just a little before my sister left. A little before my sister left because my sister had to be, in the parade lineup, if you will, at least, at the parade registration. I wouldn't say registration, but basically she had to be at a certain location to line up her truck, my grandpa's truck, which is now hers, so that for the procession in the parade. And that's what she did. She lined it up, if you will. She had to leave by 5:30 to line everything up, which she did. And she was in the, and as like I said, you saw in the video, she was in the parade. She had fun doing it. Then we went to dinner afterwards. We met back up at the house. We went to dinner, and not only did we go to dinner, we went to dinner at what is known as Mills. We went to dinner, at Mills, and not only did we go to dinner at Mills and everything, but it was my first time trying a martini. And I felt like just trying it because, one, I wanted to kind of celebrate, the fact that I was now working again after a year and a half. And I tried a dirty martini. And believe me, I'll say this. It was okay but it's the kind that if you're not really used to it, you can, try once in a while. The thing with me is that it's kind of like a martini is basically vodka with olive juice. And you need to basically take your time with it. It's a zippy drink. Like, in other words, if you're going to drink it, make sure you have something else on hand to wash down the flavor, if you know what I'm saying, or, balance out the flavor. But I thought it was all right. It just, for the first time, still got a lot to learn when it comes to drinking those kind of things. Anyway, though, after that, we went back, me and my mom, we went back to the house, and me and my mom came home. And then yesterday we went to church and told everybody that I was working. They were all happy. And then after that, came home, because usually we would go to my older sisters, but because we spent time with them the night before, we just went home afterwards. And my mom had kids to work on and everything. And me, I just wanted to relax, which I did. And, the rest is history. The rest is history. But yeah, like I said, it's been a very interesting week, if not weekend. Very interesting first day at work that I've had in quite some time, period. Because of the fact that I've never, ever, and this is the truth, never, ever experienced anything like that in my entire work career. Never once, when anybody would hire me on, never once during the training did I ever experience something like that, because everything was on the up and up. Everything was ready. But I can't put the blame on my store or anything, because it was beyond their control. I can't put the blame on them, because it was beyond their control. It said the DNS server was at fault. So whoever that was, whether it was Xfinity or it was on the main headquarters end, I don't know. But I could say this honestly, hopefully things got fixed. Everything's on the up and up, and hopefully when she calls me later today, maybe in a few hours, who knows, I'll go in, whether it is today or more likely tomorrow, maybe even Wednesday. I can get finished with everything and get on there, because I think she wants to get me on there, get me on board, get me going before the month is out. And one of the girls I now work with, she feels that there's a good chance I'm going to probably stay on a lot longer than just seasonal, which might just be the case. It just might be the case. But yeah, that's really what's been going on over the past week, if not this past weekend. Not really much to say after that. I'm still getting some videos out and everything as best as I could. Like I said, I did say originally in the original video, but I'll point it out again, because I had to redo this. The third time I'm redoing this vlog. One of the things I started doing, or I did, is I took this mic this mic here, which came with the HD PVR Hopogony as they call it. Re-Res, Shane of Re-Res did a review on it. Hopogony external capture card. He basically talked about it in a video. So again, check that out. Check that out if you want to. But the HD PVR came with a mic, because that way you could do commentary when you do on your video captures and everything. So anyway, I used that with my digital microphone, my digital voice recorder, as they call it, the Olympus digital video recorder, right here. I connected it to that, and by connecting it to that, putting it together with that, if you will, it also had a clip, so I was able to clip it on here, on my shirt. And what I did while I was waiting to kind of clock in, if you will, I basically walked around. Okay, well, what I did, because I had to leave early on Saturday, earlier than I've ever had, to catch the bus. I had to be on the bus at 6:28, 6:30, if you will. Get drove to Patterson, at the park area where that's the transfer point, if you will. And then after that, basically after doing the transfer point, we, what's the word I'm looking for? We went, the bus then, the same bus, I got back on, went to Walmart where I got dropped off to go to my job. But because I had plenty of time, basically 53 minutes before they opened, I got myself some breakfast from McDonald's. And then while I was waiting, I decided to do a little bit of recording, like I said, with the digital video recorder and the mic that came with the HD PVR capture device. And it worked out. The only difference, ladies and gentlemen, with the mic that comes with the HD PVR, in comparison to, let's say, the mics I've used otherwise, like let's say, this mic right here or that mic, is those two mics, work with left and right, speakers, in other words, stereo, right? Well, this one basically only does left side, so it's only like it's mono. But it still works. And the sound came out good, and I'll probably be using that a lot more. All right, sorry about that, guys. That was my store manager. She told me she called me up just now and said to come back in tomorrow at 8:30. I had a feeling she might ask me to come in tomorrow instead of today because of the fact that it's a little too soon. And I think when she looked at the fact that, he lives in Newman, it's a little hard even if I drove or I didn't. But again, long story short, like I said, speaking of the job, while I was killing time on Saturday, I ended up, like I said, recording with the HD PVR mic connected to the digital voice recorder. So that kind of helped out. That kind of helped in the long run, kind of buy the time and all that, if you catch my drift. And overall, like I said, it was an interesting beginning. I'll say that, very interesting beginning, and can't say any more than that. But anyway, though, guys, I just wanted to come on here and do this bit of a vlog, like I said, let you know what's been going on. And sorry if I sound like I rambled a little bit, or a little off here and there. It's early still, if you will, for me anyway. And like I said, it's early, and like I said, for me anyway. And and of course, I had me and my mom had our gardener and his wife here doing the things, so that kind of distracted me a little bit. But anyway, though, guys, just wanted to come on here and give you my thoughts on what's happened, on what's been going on and everything. And that's really about it. Let me know what your thoughts are though. Comment down below, live chat during the premiere, like the video. Check me out at my Teespring store, especially now in time for Christmas. Also check me out at BW Rose's discussions on all your favorite audio podcast locations except for Pandora. And if you're using Anchor.fm, listener support is now activated there if you want to help support my brand on the podcast location, if you will. Also check me out at patreon.com/bwroses if you want to help donate there to the $1, $3 tier. Also check me out at Venmo as well at Brian-Warmer.2. And also check me out at BW Roses on Vimeo. So until next time, guys, thank you all for watching. Again, I do apologize if this was all over the place. Like I said, it's early. Had the gardener and his wife here doing the lawn and stuff. And, you know, really that's about it. So let me know what your thoughts are down below. Comment if you like. I'm out.